Hiya folks, welcome back to the Play School. It's me, Phil, here again. We have another great track to learn on the piano. So today we're going to look at Handbags and Gladrags by Rod Stewart. Also covered by the Stereophonics, but I feel like the Rod Stewart version is a bit more classic, and so that's the one we're going to go with. Now, this is a great track. It's got an absolutely beautiful piano intro, which we play about 1 billion times during the course of the piece. Chords are it's middling, and I've got one bit of important information. I'm actually going to take you through this as we go, telling you everything that I want you to know. There's no extra jazz this time. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so this piano riff chord sequence, which we're going to use in the intro and the outro and in between verses and halfway through verses, it's everywhere. So let's take a look at it. We're in the key of B flat, so that is B flat, C, D, black, white, white, E flat, F, G, black, white, white, and then that last half step, A, B flat, and E flat. And deviate from that a little, but not very much. So let's deal with the verse chords first and build the intro and interlude riff up from there. Your first chord, B flat. Usually would be B flat, D, F, or in root position would be B flat, D, and F. Skip C and E flat. What we do is take the B flat, put it on top, invert up to there. There's your B flat, and then take the D and invert it up to there, giving you the best way to play B flat with that far away note under your longest finger, right? There's your B flat. Now in good news, the right hand for this verse is so simple, because our first chord is B flat with a B flat. Start up here for the beginning. Our second chord is B flat / A flat. Now for those of you who've not seen this in our classes before, slash is a way we describe chords that are placed over a different bass note. I always think of it like a fraction, like the slash is like B flat / the note that's underneath, right? Top number, bottom number, different denominator. So we've got B flat, same right hand chord, just B flat over A flat. It's a B flat 7 chord really. And then we're going to go to E flat. Now, again, those of you who know me will know I love this move. B flat. For E flat, we need E flat, G, and B flat. And we're going to put it, well, we've already got our finger on a B flat, haven't we? There. So we're just going to find our E flat, which is there, and our G, which is there. And it gives us this lovely move where we just pivot around that middle finger. So, up to E flat. And our last chord, when I was researching this, I saw it called F7 sus4, which it is, I guess. But I'm going to call it E flat over F, for the very reason, E flat / F, for the very reason, that's how we're going to play it. E flat, G, B flat, and your F. Okay? So there's your verse chords. Ever seen a blind man cross the road, trying to reach the other side? Ever seen a young girl growing old, trying to make herself a bride? And there it is. I've actually got a bit of a cold at the moment, just making me sound, if anything, like a more out of tune Rod Stewart. So there's your verse chords, just 4 of them. Now really, if we want to make this sound proper, we need to play these properly, right? So let's talk about the intro. Right, we're going to start with a B flat chord and we're going to play it here. Start on that B. Yeah, we're going to start with that B flat chord in the same position. Yeah? And then, instead of staying there for the B flat over A flat, we're going to, remember I talked about inverting? We're going to take that F and put it on the top. And then we're going to continue. We're trying to mimic the, I think it's an oboe at the beginning, maybe even a bassoon, I'm not sure, and then it's like a French horn later on. We're trying to mimic that melody, which goes. right? So we've got the here, invert the B flat and walk down your left hand up to E flat in root position. Now your left hand's going to mark beat 1. And you're going to bring your E flat down in inversion. Now we're going to invert it. So we're going to take the B from top to the bottom, because that is going to put us in the right position to play this top bit. And it's just walking between the uppermost notes of that E flat chord using the F, right? And then B flat in root position, but just the outsides. And then the same again for our E flat chord. Right? And then we're going to come to an E flat here for your E flat over F. That's the position we just learnt it in right at the beginning, pivoted from the B flat. And just to finish off that little melody, we've got a little resolution. C, B flat, A. Right? Take through that one more time. B flat, second inversion. B flat in root position, over an A flat. E flat in root position. Invert, F on 1. Outside of your B flat chord. Same again to go with E flat. Then back to this E flat chord over your F, resolve to your A, which is in your F chord. That is your oboe / French horn melody dealt with. Now we get into our piano section. So let's pick that up, B flat chord up there again. So we've gone. Now this for me is all about these little kind of grace notes that we're going to hit, almost as if by mistake, before we hit the note we want to. So the first one, I'll give you a demonstration, show you what I mean. We're going to take this B flat up here. Okay, it's B flat at the top, it's a further inversion. We got up to there, we're now going to go up to the one with the B flat at the top. Let's just forget about the D for a second. We've got this B flat and F. And that is the noise we're looking for. So you're going to hit, I would do it just like I've got it there. You've got your ring finger on the B flat and your second finger on the F, and you're just going to go, yeah? Okay. Now we're going to come back down in inversion and go to this position. And again, we need to do our little turnaround. And we're going to go, right? Sounds complicated, but actually it's middle. And play. Imagine we're going, right? We'll start in the middle. C, D, B flat, C, D, B flat, C, D. In fact, there's no D at the end. Okay, and there's an F with every C. C, D, B, C, D, B, C. Yeah, let's put those together. Oops. Now you'll have noticed, hopefully in playing that I'm really emphasizing those C's. They come in 2, 3, in a kind of 16th note syncopated rhythm. Not important for you to remember that information, but it's kind of it's an unusual rhythm, and so it's nice to bring it out. And your last one is an E flat in that position we were just playing it a second ago. But I just want you to jump between the G and the B flat. Right? And then with our F, we want to play, this is a tricky bit, right? Going to get your pinky on here. So you're looking for these notes, F, G, B flat, F. But you're actually going to pick up the second one with your thumb because we need this hand up here, right? So it's going to go, yeah? that is the end. So this we just did a second ago. And then to get us back into our kind of, this is where we either end and go into a verse, or we start our sequence again. Imagine you're in that B flat chord here. You've got the D and the F. We'll just, in fact, it's the same as that as well, isn't it? So either way, think about your B flat chord and just, it's like, again, we're hitting the C by accident. Okay. Let's try that all again, very slowly, right? We're going to go, where were we here, right? Okay, and that is where we get into the verse. So once again, straight all the way through this introduction. So starting off with our oboe melody. Invert up, E flat in root, F takes the lead, F, B, and again. Ever see a blind man cross the road? Trying to make the other side. Now, if we want to be really clever, the last bit of jazz is in between our lyrics in the verse. We need to throw in our introduction riff. I'll show you how that works. So we did. Ever seen a blind man cross the road, trying to reach the other side? Ever see a young girl growing old, trying to make herself blind? That will lead us into the chorus. Okay, to get into our chorus, we're coming out of our little piano jazz, so it'll be like, I'm trying to make herself bright. And then we've got this bit where we would have gone back up here. We're not. We're going to go downwards this time because we want to hit 3 little chords to get us into the chorus. So instead of, we're going to do just exactly the opposite with your left hand. F, G, B flat with your right. And then we need to hit D minor, which over an F makes F6. That's D, F, A. And then we're going to shrink towards our thumb to get A, C, and E flat with an F sharp at the bottom, which is an F sharp diminished 7 chord, and that will lead us beautifully to a G minor, which is the beginning of the chorus. Let's do that one more time. So let's try to make yourself bright. Then you're into G minor. What becomes of you? F chord, F, A, C. And B flat in root position, B flat, D, F. Now the next chord is C. Don't really like to skip directly up root chord to root position chord. We're just going to come downwards to put our C here. C, E, G would have been there, but we're going to put it there instead. Then up to E flat, which is going to be taken, if we put the bass note down there to keep it clear, that's in the same position as we took it up here. E flat, G, B, E flat, G, B flat, right? Then lovely, easy, step up to our E flat slash F, or F7. And then there we are again. Okay, let's try and take that whole chorus. So it was trying to make yourself bright. What becomes of you, my love? And then after that, you're into verse 2. Yeah, there we are. So the first time we need to think about anything different from what I've discussed so far is after we do the second chorus, when our intro just gets cut short and we have a little interlude. Our interlude is going to involve the chords E flat over F again, which we played a couple of times, right? And it will resolve to B flat. Before we get to verse 3. The way we get there, just there, right? So remember I said after you do, that's actually like the end / the start of the next sequence. So all we're going to do is end there, and then you're into our altered verse. Okay, verse 3 is a really nice little kind of variation. Okay, so we've just done that bit, and we've got B flat. Now, we've been hinting at this being B flat 7 the whole time, because that's what B flat over A flat really is. But instead, we're going to keep a B flat as the bass note for this whole verse. Got a pedal note, and it's just going to be there the whole time. So we've got B flat 7. Now, just on a quick note on 7s, if you need to find a 7 note quickly, instead of doing all the music maths required, we can just take our root note, which in this case is the B flat, and drop it down by 2 half steps. Yeah? Now, we're going up to our E flat, same as we did before, but we're not changing the bass note. Now we will go down to F and keep it over B flat. So we've got B flat 7, E flat, F. It's kind of like the rudiments of this chord passage, kind of just sliced up differently, which is real nice. It's like a sixpence for his sake, drink a bottle full of rye. For my ears, the second two times around we do this are going to be 420 blackbirds, which is not B flat 7. You can tell because it sounds different. 420 blackbirds. That is A flat over a B flat bass. So what I'm going to do is step up to A flat, C, E. They're adjacent chords, no shared notes, right? 20 blackbirds in a case. And then, of course, from A flat to E flat, we can keep the E flat on top. Again, it's that position again. You can get used to that kind of E flat position. It's a little awkward, right? So we've got twice through that. 20 blackbirds in a cake, bake them all in a pie. We'll go down the octave. And then, of course, we're back into the chorus. So what would be ideal to do there? Is to get into the chorus with those same 3 chords. D minor over F, or F6, F sharp diminished 7, and then G minor. To put us back into that chorus. So let's have a little check. Let's have a little try all the way through that little altered verse. So we've come from. We do this twice. Sing a song of sixpence for his sake, and drink a bottle for a ride. 20 blackbirds in a cage, bake them all in a pie. And now just throw them all away. The handbags and the gladrags that you pulled that had to sweat to buy. That's where we hit the instrumental. Okay, into the instrumental. It's a nice little bit. Luckily, there's not much going on, right? We are going to be in those same chords. And that melody is at the top. All it is, right? I'm not going to count out that rhythm for you. I just want you to listen to the record and copy it, right? And the way to do this is to put your that extra chord note with every time we hit the top. Bam, bam, bam. And then you're back into that chorus. Now, I was actually just playing the outside of those chords. Imagine we're hitting, there's your chord, there's the outside of the chord. Missing out the middle, this gives us the fifth and the third note, which makes a full chord when we hit that in. And what we're doing is we're hitting that as like a suspension, and then we're going to resolve it down to the note it should be, right? And that applies to the B flat. And here we're playing that E flat chord. We're just missing out the B flat because we're going to play it in the middle. Now, two options there. You can either go and do the chorus as we did before, or you're really close to that first G minor chord that you need. So I might be tempted just to start there. And then you can either play the rest of the chorus here, or you can continue it here. Today, completely up to you. Okay, so the structure is basically as we've just learnt it. We've got intro, then we've got verse 1, then we've got chorus. Then we do the little intro interlude again, then we've got verse 2 and a chorus. And we have our altered little interlude before we go into the altered verse that we were just talking about. And then we have another chorus after the verse. Standard, and then we have the little instrumental that we just played a second ago, and after that we have the chorus, which I was just referring to a second ago, and after that your outro is just 4 times round this. And what you want to do at the end is just slow down. And that is the end of the song. Listen, there's a lot to take in there. Go back, slow it down, rewind, pause. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. Have fun with that, and I'll see you.